There we go. That took a bit to connect again. Who's with us today? Oh, just missed Jennifer, I think. I want to do market analysis with someone. Here we go. Here we go. Jennifer, there you are.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. Your internet's working right now?
That looked like you were trying to. So far, I'm tethering to my phone at the moment. Today is the day where the techs are supposed to show up and actually do the work at the terminal on the corner of the block there. So
Right.
hopefully that resolves everything. Outlook is good.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. How are things?
Just trucking along.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I'm actually of the mind now that there's really nothing else to do. It's, we've got our things that we got our plans, we've got our things that we need to do as far as individuals. But at this point, really, we just have to let things play out because the momentum of these next 2-3 months is really 4 years. And we're not going to stop what is going to come next. And I think that the more that we can just be at peace with what is already transpired and going to be passing through, the more that we are going to be able to respond prudently.
Kind of like riding the wave, right? Like the wave is happening, we're on it, we're just hanging out.
This is the direction we're going. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Okay, let's go find the charts here. All right. That is one thing I'm really glad about my phone is that I'm still able to do it. It's a little bit slow. There's a little bit of a lag, I can tell, but it's better than nothing.
Yep.
And what we were having before was pretty much nothing. All right, let's go and share the screen. Okay. Yeah, is that the right? Yeah, that's the right screen. Okay, cool. Let's burn through these, but I'm going to start at the top this time and work our way to the other side because yesterday we didn't get to finish. So ADA Ethereum. ADA is continuing to rise in value against Ethereum. And it's quite fascinating to watch this bearish trend really start to form. Or sorry, this bullish trend really start to form. We do have another line of resistance to pass through at the, that is 1/10,000th. No, that's 1/100,000th of a cent, if you will. And so we got a ways to go before we can say that we are breaking out and actually heading up a lot further. But since I placed this trade there a few days ago and it's made its breakout, that trade is now up 10% across 5 days. So that's a good position to be in. It hasn't reached our target yet. When it reaches the target, that's when I would sell off half and then wait for that retracement. We do see here, see how this price action, it came out and broke out of this long-term trend line here. And then it retested it and came back down and then has again shown that that test is making this a support, because now we've got a clear bar here yesterday that closed nice and high, a brand new high. In fact, it hasn't been this high since May. And so that is a very indicative of a continued bullish pattern. And like I say, we still have yet to reach the blue line and break above that. We would need to see something similar to this breakout in order to know that we are headed up further. But this is nice. This trade is progressing along very nicely. Let's move on to the Solana and Ethereum. Yeah, it's funny. Solarium. Just put the two words and just make one word all together at the same time. Here we go. This is breaking out today. It's got a good little push above the line of resistance. We'll see where this closes. We can see that this area here has produced a lot of pivot points where the price has changed at this level. And so it's anyone's game at this point, because we are seeing higher highs and higher lows. We can verifiably say that this is on an upward trend. I'm going to go ahead and mark that trend with these lows here. There we go. Again, math is not an exact science. That's what I like to say whenever I'm trading. It's not that we're trying to have it line up exactly. What we're looking for is that average line where we see some price, it kind of goes down a little bit and sometimes it stays up from it. What we're looking for in that line is just the average, if you could draw a line of what that trend how that trend is represented, that's good enough. And so you can see this is following that trend line very well. And in the last couple of weeks, here we have August 8th. So yeah, last month, we've noticed that the price has not been really trending. It's been ranging. And so this ranging that we're seeing happen is just another area of consolidation. And I know that there's a lot of discussion about Solana's future in crypto. There are two schools of thought. That one, it's just fun and games, too much fun and games, although it's private. It's too much fun and games and not enough practical uses for sovereignty. And so there's discussion on whether or not it's going to be there's discussion on whether or not it's going to continue in the same fashion that it has, or if it's going to be branching off and just doing video game stuff. So we don't really know. Until we do, we probably won't see a whole lot of bearish or bullish action because of the indecision that's occurring, right? So we're going to probably see this range for a little while longer until that actually resolves, where we find out where's this whole thing going. Let's move on to Bitcoin, which we just bounced off of this over the last few days. We bounced off of this level at 52. I believe that this level here, this blue level, is going to be where we end up. It's 51-ish, somewhere in here. And the reason why is because we still have this downward trend happening. This low here is usually, when we see this kind of thing, this banker's candle, we call that, whenever that occurs, we can expect to hit that price point again. And it's just because of the way that the liquidity is being distributed. So when this drops down like this, there are a lot of people that go ahead and get a position here. And then what happens is that they're looking for that quick buck, kind of like what I was talking about. When you see the ATR spike up, just go ahead and grab a position and take that trade back to the average where you just left. So the same kind of thing is happening here in the thing. But when they make that 23%, they are in essence wanting to make it again. And so they're waiting for that price action to dip down below this blue line again. Well, this is kind of that At last, yeah, I would say that it would be unlikely for it to go below this, but if it does, 43,000 is the next pivot point, the next level of interest in this price action. So, you know, we've got this, we got this trade active that I plotted a few days ago. Let's just move it over so that it shows, yes, and it's basically hanging out at where I called it, and we're waiting to see where it goes from here. Again, I would not be surprised if it came down to this level, the 43 level. 51 might be the shelf. You know, we'll see what happens in the confirmations. If this gets a leg underneath here and closes below the blue line, I would anticipate it to continue on to the 43 level. So good to know. If you have a bunch, so this is where we come into the dollar cost averaging. If you have a bunch and you're not sure whether or not you want to get it now, or if you want to get it when it's down lower, because it might not, right? I mean, if it doesn't go down lower and the price ends up going higher, what do? My recommendation is to always dollar cost average. So in this case here, as the price begins to go down more, you're going to make multiple deposits to lower the average cost of your position. In the event that it does go up, you are not spending all of your money at this price. You're spreading that money across the downward trend to bring down the average price. Now, if you are super confident that it's going to hit this blue line, go ahead, wait to start your dollar cost average until then. You can't go wrong even if you start now. As long as you're recognizing that you are splitting up this investment across time so that you lower the average cost of the entire investment, you are playing the game in the same way that the elites play and even move these markets around. So yeah, that's Bitcoin still in the downward trend. We're waiting to see. I think that we're lucky to bounce off of the 60,000 level at this time. I think that this retest, this banker's candle, is what we're going to be seeing next. So that's why I placed that trade the way that I did. Moving on, we have Ethereum. Ethereum is experiencing a similar pattern, just a little bit more volatility than Bitcoin. And we are still within. Look at that. Hey, this price action, even yesterday and today, is just bumping up against this downward trend line. You know, with this, you know, the way that this is behaving already, the blue trade plan is, the blue trade plan is actually what I would be following in this case. We'll see what happens though. You look at how this test on the green line at the 2100 level or 2180, that level there is, we're coming up to this little squeezing point. Remember how these, whenever we see these trend lines converging, the energy starts to build up in the price action, and you can see how it starts to diminish, and it's coming down to this point here. When that point gets reached and it breaks out, we can expect it to go to the next line, whatever that is. So this green line here at 27, or it might drop down to the 19 level here. Again, because I have the same sentiment towards Bitcoin right now, although a lot of people are saying, no, this 51 level, that's the shelf. That's it. It's never going to go lower than that. A lot of people are thinking that. Because a lot of people are thinking that, that tells me that the elites are going to want to bring the price down here and make those people sell their liquidity to the big companies. That's, again, that's a contrarian view, meaning I do not subscribe to what the masses believe is going to happen. In Ethereum, I believe the same thing, that if we go down below this line here, it's going to take us to this 43 level. In the same way with Ethereum, if we end up, there we go. If we end up dropping below this green line, we're probably going to be heading to the yellow line. So we're going to be watching for that as time goes on. Again, dollar cost average your way down that price so that you can maximize your trade. Speaking of maximizing a trade, I called this one pretty well. Ever since then, we've been experiencing bullish bars. Yep. So September 7th is when I plotted this trade, and ever since then, except for this one here, which is basically we call this a Doge bar candle, a Doge candle, where it basically opens and then kind of moves around and then closes basically right at the same spot. Call that a Doge candle. Other than that, we've just been experiencing increase in price ever since that trade got started, and a 12% increase across 5 days. If you can do that every 5 days, the compound interest is insane, and you can take $1,000 and make about that would be, you could take $1,000 and make about $80,000 in a year if you can maintain that kind of a percentage. So here we have Polygon. Yes, still in its downward trend. We got that breakout that is telling us that we have the potential to start an upward trend, because this low here did not break down below the previous low. And so this here is indicative of a bullish trend on the rise. We are butting up against another trend line as we're headed down towards this support, and we can see it's wanting to get out. It's wanting to break out. And so this one here, if it were to, the purple trade plan is probably not going to be in effect. If it does, we have to see this price action close below this line here at the 34-cent level. Until that time, I would actually, because of this new high, if this high wasn't here, I wouldn't be saying this, but because this new high is here, the potential for this to bounce off of this pivot point, get a leg up on the green line and start heading its way up, that is very it's very, very probable, simply because this new high indicates that there's a lot of pressure to bring this up again. And Polygon, I believe, is going to be a long-term coin. It's going to stick around for a while. So yeah, that's a good position. That's a good position. If you wanted to get in, I would wait. Personally, I would wait until we see confirmation breakout out of this downward pattern. And we can see that if it does not close below this and we get a leg up over top of this trend line one more time, closing above with another candle showing good strength, then we can say that blue plan will be in effect. Until that time, maybe hold out. Again, it's not a bad buy. This is definitely a nice low price here. This price point at the 33-cent level is a good one. It hasn't been there for a long time. In fact, if we go and look, yeah, the last time it was at this price was in 2022. So very, very good position at this time. Let's move on to the Solana. We did Solana Ethereum, and now this is Solana against the US dollar. And we can see that nice range between these two pivot points. And it's pretty good if you can, I've been just drawing all kinds of things. There we go. Now from these 2 points, you got a 10% difference between the low and the high. We know full well that the institutional traders are going to be trading this because, again, we have this expanding wedge pattern occurring in the price action across this last, since the beginning of this year. This here is, this is indicative of it's a type of consolidation. Basically, nobody really knows which way this is going to go. Ever since this time, this has been getting higher highs and lower lows at the same time. So this is really just anybody's game at the moment. I would be watching for price action around pivot points and then heading in the opposite direction. If you wanted to make a quick 4 or 5% across a week, you could probably do that. You'd have some errors, you'd have some mistakes. You might get taken out of some trades, and that's okay. Overall, you could probably win 50% of the trades, which if you have good money management, you can make money even if you are only winning 42%. Even 42%, I think, is the lowest. If you're making that, you are still profiting, even if you're only accurate 42% of the time. With good money management, you can make some money during this. It's very, very inconclusive, is what it is. Essentially, we have been following this range here. Let's get a box. We've been basically following this with some deviation, but this expanding wedge is yeah, it's anybody's game. It really is anybody's game. Higher highs and lower lows at the same time. XMR, this is Monero, another privacy coin. Oh, they call themselves a privacy coin. It's tough to be privacy coin when your ledger is stored on Amazon servers, but anyway, we make fun of them. So this is a rising wedge. We're seeing that price action really consolidate close up. I'm going to move this a little bit more here. So we are coming into a squeeze. And whenever we see a rising wedge like this, yes, typically speaking, it breaks out going upwards. We have a lot of price action. Yeah, look at that. A lot of price action in this area here. And it's been doing that since July 2022. And so this, yeah, this is a lot of energy building up and very sharply as well. So I think that this breakout is probably within a week or so, and we'll see where it goes from there. It's anybody's game. Look at how long that price has maintained that average. Like, it's crazy. You might as well just say Monero basically took this price at the 156, 157 level. It took that price and just basically has been bouncing around there ever since. Couple of breakouts, but they are just what I call fake outs because they don't actually create a trend. They break out of a pattern, but they don't create a trend. And in fact, after this breakout here at the end of February, beginning of February, after that, it just bounced right back up again and is in that same average area ever since, 2022. So there's some stability there, which is nice. But when the price action doesn't have a lot of fluctuation or a trend, it's difficult to know when to enter and exit the market. So yeah, XRP, good old Ripple, folks. Ripple is, go ahead, make as much money off of Ripple as you want. I put a trade in here, and you can see that it's been doing fairly well ever since then. I didn't put real money into XRP. I marked it because I thought it was an interesting price point, and I wanted to track my results on this analysis. I believe that this support line here is going to maintain itself, and that blue trade plan is likely what we're going to be witnessing over the next little while. Even though we have this downward trend at the moment from these highs here, it is these bounces off of this red line that give me that indication that we've got the support for a bullish trend. Now, again, I've got this plotted, be checking it every day. This one might lose out, especially if we head down to this red line one more time. But I feel really confident, in fact, because of this double bottom here. It touched it twice, and then it went up and created a new high outside of the previous range. See, this previous range is pretty important because it was the price bouncing around in this area. That's an important area. And so the fact that it broke out above, drove down again, but didn't go down to this red, that means that this low is a higher low. So this is showing that we've got support. We just finished forming another low on September 6th, and it is considerably higher than this low. In fact, that low is, I keep on grabbing the wrong tool. That low is already 18% higher than the previous low. And so that is indicative of an upward trend. And especially since we've been hanging out a lot more lately, we've been hanging out a lot more above this average trend line that we see that was drawn from this point here in August 2023. That trend line is, over the last little while has been accumulating more action. And so this dip down being a new low that is so much higher than the previous low, with this much accumulation occurring above that average trend line, I believe that we are ready for a breakout. So that's why I placed that trade. We'll see what happens. 0 by 0, good old AI project. We are now outside of that trend line. We closed it out yesterday and has been hanging out ever since then above that line. So today's close will be very, very revealing. If we do close above this downward trend line, I would say that we're probably outside of that downward trend and looking to shoot for this next level at 22 cents. I have a plot to trade here and waiting to see what happens. Technically, this is not an upward trend yet. I simply took it because the price is just so good, and we're basically at the price floor right now. Oh well, sorry, I should say that. The last time the price went lower than this was back in October of 2023. So this is just a really good position. I can see the potential for the breakout as that energy builds up as we come to this final point between this support line and this trend line. We're calling for a breakout. And due to the timing of this project, I believe that we're going to see this price happen within a matter of a day or two when it breaks out. So yeah, we'll be watching where this heads out from here. That's for sure. It's fascinating. And what did we say the target was? The big target way up here, 70 cents. Yeah, that's right. KD Sync. Oh, that was the wrong one. Let's do this one, and let's bring up the 4 hour because of the short time frame this is. Okay, so on this 4 hour chart, we can see we definitely broke out of this downward trend. Oh yeah, this is my trade that I have open since June, mid-June when I got started, right? So this trade is still open right now. I have it plotted so we can track its progress. But now we have broken out. Let's go back to the daily chart. We have broken out of the trend line and pushed our way to this resistance line at the 17 cent level. Still waiting for a confirmed breakout as we head back on up. This downward trend may bring the energy of this asset down to the 10 cent level where we were at in July, and again at the beginning of this whole thing in May. It could very well go that low. If that's the case, I will be buying up some more. Yeah, that's a good chart. I'm looking forward to that one. Injective token rather. I did plot a trade on this one and put some of my own money back into this further. I do have a trade that is also being played out from the middle of June. Let's just grab where that is. Yeah, in this area here. I'll plot it so that we can track that trade as well. Is that June? Yeah, it was in that area. So my projection on this one to get the return that I want based on the risk that I've placed would be about that. I'm not going to go through. Oh no, let's get it all the way. There we go. So there's 124% increase projection on this particular trade that I took in June. And again, at that point, I would sell off a bunch and repurchase at a lower price point to accumulate some more volume. This second trade that I took, this one here is just because the price action was hanging out down here. This resistance line this support line was not even touched on this low here. And so again, we see that building energy where the 2 points are converging. And so I believe that we're going to see a breakout on this one as well. That's why I took some extra money and threw it in. So now my average price is lower and I can appreciate some more returns as we head back on up to the all-time high. For the NPC, here we've got the meme coin. And let's go to the 4 hour chart. This is the super short chart. And we're still we're still just ranging since we broke out of this pendant, this little triangle formation. We broke out of that and have stayed below this line of resistance at the 16-cent level. Currently hanging out at 15. I did plot this trade on the September 5th to follow this as we head on back up. Again, price might go down. It's a meme. Anything's possible. But I know that the people are still very much in hope of that one. So we'll be following that. Now we're into the world markets. Here's our trade from where I placed my projection. And since that time, it has actually been testing the support or the resistance line above that at the 36.9 level, basically 40,000 level. Let's just go ahead and adjust that so that, oh no. Oh, I thought it was 39. No, it is not 39. That is 36.9. So this price action here is, this resistance here is showing some pretty good strength. And so, I'd be surprised if it goes above that. If it does, it's just because they're trying to get a little bit more of a well, again, it goes back to dollar cost averaging, right? If they can make the average of their sells, their shorts, if they can make the average of their shorts higher, they will make more money as it dips down. I have a hard time believing that oh my gosh. I don't know if anybody follows Edward Dowd or not, but you've been following him. I've been following him since before COVID, and it is crazy how good his predictions are. And I've not seen him, whenever he's made a prediction and it's been within like a 60 to 90 day window, I've never seen him do it wrong. And so, he's saying that there's no liquidity left in any of the banking systems. There's no loans going out to any of the nations that are operating with the old banking systems. They're basically just running on fumes, just whatever people are handing back and forth amongst each other in retail. That's pretty much the only money that's moving around. And of course, the money that they're printing to make sure people can still buy their coffee. Like that, he said, there's nothing left. There's no more injection of funds coming in other than what the government says that they can print. That's it. There's absolutely nothing else being produced. So when I hear that, it's like, how is this even going on? It's insane. The only thing keeping this thing alive right now is the volume at which they're able to print. That's it. And now, since you can print with a click of a button, it's even better. All right, here we go. The Dow Jones has definitely pumped itself back up again to the 41,000 level. My trade that I said, hey, short this sucker, is in the drawdown at the moment. Didn't even come close to doing what I thought it was going to do. But this here, this is nothing compared to that all-time high. And if we see this price action actually go up to and meet this all-time high yet again, that would seal the deal for me. I'm just like, a double top at this time where we're at, within weeks of the collapse. There's going to be something huge. There's going to be a lot of chaos. People are going to be panicking, and I'm just going to be watching the whole thing, eating popcorn, because I just think it's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, we talked about it yesterday. The amount that this is going to drop is just, it's going to traumatize a lot of people. And I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's traumatize everybody and make money in the process. Let's go. Here we're on to the S&P 500, following the blue trade plan fairly well here. We do have another, we got another press, another run from the bulls, and they have gone ahead and reached this pivot point here. Great little pivot point. It's a mini one, I would say. Yeah, it's a mini pivot point. And so we're here testing it out right now. And we'll see what happens. If it can actually get a good leg up over top of this and bounce off of this line, then I would say that we would probably be heading up to the all-time high. But I think, again, we're just witnessing a nice little push of the investors wanting to make an extra, make an extra 2-3%, which leveraged, usually that's going to be about 80 to 100% return on on a position between these two points, this resistance and this support here. So another good position to be selling as we ride this market down to what I believe is going to be about 50% of what it is right now, down to what is this again? What did I say? Well, that's I think it's going to taking a bit to load here, only because of using the phone, I think. Yeah, there we go. I'm anticipating, I still have to go back further. Oh, it's because I'm on the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the daily. There we go. There's our point there. I believe that this is going to be our target right here from the 2020 mark. And yeah, that's a 50% drop, 60% drop rate. Gold. We have today, since we opened only 2 hours and 10 minutes ago, the market price on gold has skyrocketed to another all-time high. Watch out. If this maintains a price point, if this closes today above this line, tomorrow is going to be a very telling day. If it drops below, closes and starts to head towards this, then we know that the price manipulation has been successful. We've got a little bit more time. If this price action does not close below this and we see another candle possibly retest the all-time high level, it will follow the blue plan, the blue trade plan. It'll retest the all-time high and then start heading up. And when this alone, today's candle, because of how strong it is over the last few hours, this tells me that there are a lot of investors who are saying screw you to the fiat currencies, and they're placing their faith in gold, bringing it to a brand new all-time high that they kept on pressing against this high for how long was this? A couple weeks? Yeah, 23 days in total. So across these 23 days, we just kept on bumping up against this high and then bumping up against this support line. Today, breaking out above, strong 1.61% increase since the open. And it didn't even, after it opened, look at that. After it opened, it didn't even go down in price. Not even a little, I don't think. Let's go to a 15-minute chart and just see what we've got for price action today. I don't think it went down at all from the open. Here is 7:30, 7:15. There's 7:30. It did drop a little bit. You can see just a little bit of a, what did that drop? It dropped $2 from the time it opened. It dropped $2.37, only to just be strong the rest of the time. So very, very, is that right? 15 minutes. Yep. So very, very strong bullish candle today, forming a brand new high on gold. This, I believe, is indicative of the faith in the fiat collapsing. Exciting. Silver, how are you doing? Oh yeah, you've also got a nice candle, but you're not forming a brand new high. In fact, you're just giving some pressure to this downward trend. So we have this inner trend, basically. We've plotted this line probably about a week ago. There's this long-term trend line that's showing a downward trend, and then there's a short-term trend line within that trend showing another angle, and we are only now just starting to press up against that second trend line. Wonderful position, definitely a good buy. Do not pass up the opportunity to have some silver as this all pans out, because out of all of the assets from the old world, I believe that silver is going to have the same type of price volatility that we see in cryptos today. And I say that because gold and silver, silver should be about 1/10 the price of gold. Well, if gold is now forming brand new highs at 2,552 US, silver should be at about $255 an ounce. Since it's only at $29 an ounce right now, we can probably see a 10x on silver when this price corrects, which would be wonderful. And I can tell you right now that in a financial collapse, when this goes down and we are at our worst, and yes, we are headed there because it's by design. When we are there, 1 ounce of silver, 1 ounce of silver, which right now is $29.63 US. What is that? $40 Canadian? Let's go see. What is it in Canadian right now? Oh, God. Silver Canadian. I don't see it. Well, let's go ZagCAD and see if that works. Yep, there you go. I will pull it from Oanda. Here is the silver Canadian price. Yep, $40.29. So, oh, wow. So, yeah, it should be 10 times that. Isn't that something? Gold breaking out, silver poised, and also with a nice, strong bullish candle today. So yeah, we could very well be breaking out of this downward trend. My target on something like this is $500. There's even talk about silver being $5,000 simply because gold will be rising to $50,000, $60,000 an ounce. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Well, that's market analysis for September 12th, 2024. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. We can expect some chaos within the markets. We might have even already seen the, what do they call those when those tremors occur before the earthquake? What do they call those?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That may have been what we saw today with gold, especially.
Some seismic activity.
Yeah. Yes, seismic activity. That's a good way to put it. Definitely some. Definitely some. Oh, there's a word. There's the tremors, but there's something else. There's a word for that where it's like the day before the earthquake. Even the dogs can feel it. You know. Yeah. So I'm excited. There you have it. Market analysis. We'll see you tomorrow. Or no, tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow's
Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Of course, Friday the 13th. Oh, tomorrow is going to be fun. Market analysis. Let's watch the chaos unfold. Have a good day.
You too.
We'll talk to you later.
Yes. Yeah.